Hey, what's up, guys? I just wanted to start this video, give a shout out to a friend of ours, Jay Stewart. He's got a little site on Facebook called Squatch Clock. You can reach him on Facebook. You should check it out. I'm going to go ahead and show you some of his work. So you got like an oval style clock here, which is really nice. They're all handmade. I know he coats them all. I think it's made out of basswood, but he does a really good job. And here he has like your oblong or your rectangular style. I think the sizes range around 14 by 14, something like that, or 14 by 16. So they're fairly large. And he's even done some that are like 3D here, which is really nice. So yeah, check him out on Facebook, Squatch Clock. Just giving him a shout out. Alright, so what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. And I wanted to share some of our things from our videos and go through some of our trail cam footage and kind of talk about things. So I left it like this so you could actually see what video this was from. It's from the Bigfoot Pissed Off in Depictions video. Somebody actually wrote us and said, you know, I would take a look at that structure you found in your original video. This structure here actually comes from a video we did this past summer, 72 minutes of off-trail hiking. And they pointed this out right here, which really looks like a face, and it's really interesting. Could that be a Sasquatch? It really looks like it. I kind of zoom it in there for you guys. It really kind of does. I mean, you can't see through it. You can see the sticks in the background, so on and so forth. But I just wanted to share that with you guys because it stands out now that I look at it. This photo I just wanted to share for reference to show you actually how fast the game cameras can work. Now you know that sled is going pretty quick, and it was able to catch a decent picture of it. So when a lot of people say, well, trail cams get blurry because of movement and so on and so forth, yes they can, but I mean, I'm probably going to guess this thing's going at least 30. And we got a decent photo of it. You can see a little bit of blur going on there, but if you got decent trail cams, they work pretty good. Alright, so now this is from one of our other videos that somebody wanted me to talk about briefly. This situation right here and back in here, in a different photo that was actually erased. I can zoom this in a little bit, which looks to be kind of like a head. Is it possible that it's a Sasquatch? It really is, because in another photo it was gone, so they pointed that out to us. And over here, what really struck me odd is I'm confused as to what this is right here. Now you can see this is the floor is like the brownish with leaves, and here's your gray trees, and you've got green foliage here, and this is pine back here. This is not pine. So I'm actually going to have to go back this spring, because I know exactly where this is, and try to take a reference photo to this, because it looks to be 1, 2 things, like it would separate right there. This is zoomed in. I mean, in the original video we did zoom it in. It would probably be approximately 40 feet, maybe 30 feet. But it almost looks like this branch back here is being clung onto or something. It looks like something standing there. I don't know. That obviously looks like fur to me. I hate to zoom it in too far because it gets pixelated, but something just is odd about it. I don't know if you guys can figure something out with that, let me know, but I had to share that because it was brought to our attention. Okay, so in this clip here, I kind of wanted to share some of my ideas here. So what we're going to be looking at is right back here. There's like a black mark, and I'll try to zoom it in. It's going to be this situation right in here, okay? Because in the other photo it wasn't there. So I'm going to try to roll it. I'm going to leave my pointer like right up in here for you. See if I can. It's probably going to go small on me. Let's go to the next one. Alright, now you seen that? Keep watching right here. Now it's gone. You seen that? It's gone. These are all consecutive. Go back. It's there. And now it's gone. And then exactly, I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 photos later. Look right in here, guys. See this? It looks like it's got green eyes glowing. It's standing up. Try to zoom it in so it stays a little clear. This caught our attention. This is very wide. It's got to be pretty tall, because let's say that this snow is 1.5 feet, 2 feet. You're going to say roughly that this will be 5 foot off the ground, guessing. I actually have to take some measurements to find out. So this has got to be pretty tall up in here, and that's where that blackness was. So remember it here, because I'm going to roll it a couple times for you. Ready? Let's see, go over here and backwards. Did you see that? It bent down, up, down, and we're looking right back here. See that movement back there? If you look right in here, something goes this way, and that's where it was standing. Up, down, up, up, down, up, down. Now that doesn't look like a bear to me. I don't think any humans are playing any tricks on me, because I don't see any footprints along this edge here anywhere. This camera's pretty well hidden. It's actually really hard to see. So when I seen that, that was quite intriguing to me. You know, it's right in here. Up and down, up, down. So I had to point that out. Let me know what you think that is. Alright, so in these next two, I'm kind of going to roll them. Right in here, I've got some movement. So let's check that out. I don't know if you can see that or not, but we're looking right here. Oh, right here. You can see the back and forth, back and forth. And the difference is, I'll tell you, let me see, like 8 minutes. So let's zoom that in. Do that again, let me see here. Which was right there, which looks like a face of some sort to me. Let's see the dark one. Okay, now to me that looks like something's peeking over that right there. What it is I really can't say, but it's got some type of round head, and that's where the movement came from. Hopefully you can see that right in there next to this big black tree. Definitely intriguing. And here we have a very cold turkey. Figured I'd just share that with you. Some better photos. Got a nice beard there. Nice birds. This one was captured later that night. Looks to be like a big coyote. Recently they just, in our state here, Western New York even, they were talking about the coy wolf and that they recently got DNA for the coy wolf. Which brings me to a really interesting point. About a few months ago I had samples sent in, and I still have samples sent in to our DNA specialist. And I'll show you what message I kind of got back, which was odd to me, that now the state and DEC has the coy wolf population coming back. Now they can say it's a regular species because they have the DNA. And I'm going to show you this message. Alright, so I had to crop it a little bit, and it is a little cut off, but it says, Ryan, I was able to basically fit your samples in my run. I found one human. This kind of intrigued me. Either really human or contaminated in collection, packaging, or transport most likely. And 2 canines. I can't differentiate as to dog, coyote, wolf, just canid. That to me was odd. Which refers kind of to, now they have, the coy wolf. Is it possible? I don't know. You never know. And one sample did not work. So what I wanted to, just show you a few things here, that it's weird that they could not differentiate as to dog, coyote, wolf. It was just canid. And as far as the human contamination, you've probably seen some of my videos where I package my samples. Basically what I do, I'm the only one as far as chain of command. Nobody else touches anything. That's just how I like it. I mean less error. So when I'm putting it into the test tubes, I'm wearing rubber gloves, I'm wearing a mask. We do everything we can do so there's no type of contaminant, no contamination per se. It's the right way to do it. So for it to come back contaminated, it was kind of odd. Normally we send them in glass test tubes, and we take it seriously. If we're really trying to do something here, you can't make any errors. Now here's a night photo. It was actually 10:43 p.m. That's kind of interesting. Most people would say that it looks like fingers or some type of hand or something like that. It is very interesting. If it was a human, they would have gloves on. You don't see that. You see the separation in the fingers. So could it be a Sasquatch? I said, we'll never know unless we get a really super clear photo, right? That's what they say. Later on, here was another one. I think it was maybe a little earlier in the morning. But to me, that looks like fingers. In this photo, I kind of wanted to point this out up here in this tree. So we'll zoom that on in for you and slide it over a little bit. Hopefully you can. Now that kind of looks like a face, don't it? You can't really tell, but it's quite interesting. So let's slide that back out. Okay, back to normal. It was right here. That's where we were looking. And what I'm going to do is roll it. So go ahead and watch it. Boom, 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 boom. It kind of looks apish, doesn't it? Like it comes out of the tree. I mean, bears would go right up and down it, right? Boom, 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 boom. Let me try to... It almost looks like you can see arms hanging there. You can only zoom so much because then you'll lose clarity. but nonetheless, I thought that was intriguing. Boom, 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 boom. It's not shadowing. I mean, you could see shadows, but that's blatant movement. And it almost looks like it grabs to come down. There's the arm. See it? Boom, 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 boom. Down around. That, to me, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that that's a juvenile. Just the way it grabs right there. Bears don't do that, really. But, you know, a bear will get around the tree, and that looks more like an arm. This next photo was in reference to something we found through Google Earth, through Google Maps. This big X placed here. This is about a 2.5 mile hike in, and I plan on getting out to this location this year. For some reason, right in the middle of the woods, here's this big opening, and there's this X. So I don't know if those are trees or what's going on here, because shadowing really wouldn't be coming from different directions like that to create the X, most likely. I thought it was intriguing, so we're going to go ahead and check that out this year. This is something I just recently ran across, actually, something that I wanted to share. It was something by our TV channel, news channel, WKBW, 1986. It says the late Jerry Feder was a director of the news station in Buffalo. He was shown photographs, and then he was told of a conversation in Niagara County with a sheriff's deputy that knew about the matter. And what I really wanted to point out here was a confidential off-the-record interview was then conducted with the former deputy. The individual claimed he was a member of, at one time, of a special Bigfoot unit of the Niagara County Sheriff's Department. Now, see, guys, that's blatant right there. You're going to tell me that they don't know and that, you know, they don't follow up on things, and I'm not going to read the rest of this here, but you know, you can just read through it if you want. But to, you know, for a sheriff to say they had a special Bigfoot unit in Niagara County, that's about 1 or 2 counties over. Yeah, Erie, Niagara. It's about an hour drive from my location, you know, where I live. But to me, that was interesting to run across this. And last but not least, guys, I tell you, read your books. Here's some good reads if you really want to delve into it. You know, everything from manuals to talking about structures to a coloring book. Yeah, you just gotta try to read as much as you can. Pay attention to everything, you know, but you have to implement it in the field. And there's a lot of things that aren't covered in books because we're still discovering. You know, is it paranormal? Is it this? Is it that? We have our conclusions that we're trying to work on and take our theories and test them and so on and so forth. You know, everybody wants a scientific way and wants it done, you know, scientifically, and you have to create, you know, your theory. You have to have your theory. You have to test it. I think we're getting pretty good results. Only time will tell. So we're planning this year, maybe it'll be a little better. And hopefully, you know, with time, we'll end up proving this. Sorry, these photos came out a little bit crooked here. I didn't have time to go back and adjust them, but what I wanted to show was a map that we have done throughout some of the area here. You know, there's a lot, and we have our little things written in our notebooks and so on and so forth. And but as you can see, there's been a lot of things that have gone on, and a lot of ground that we've covered, as you guys can see. Kind of what I try to tell people is, if there's roads, right, all the way around this area that you can drive, what you do is you look for certain things. And let's say you stop here and then you go off in the woods, you find nothing. You come down the road, see something, you go up in the woods. You know, it might lead you to something, but it's an easy way to access all the way around this, you know, 4,000, whatever this is, 5,000 acres in this section. And And what's happened by doing that, we found that at certain times of the year they're over here, then they're over here, and they're over here. So it's an easy way, to kind of track them down per se a little bit. Our biggest problem is during the winter here. I mean, the only place. Sorry about that. The only place we've really caught them in the winter is over on this side, which it's flatter, higher ground, and not so much in the valleys over in here. But it was just something to point out. This is where it's a little more broken down, closer. This is what I tell people: you got to label everything, you got to save it, and everything you read is what we've been documenting. We've caught all kinds of different types of audio, from totally paranormal to Sasquatch language and all kinds of stuff and everything in between. And this is some of the area we've done it in, up in here. And some of the stuff you probably see labeled and you're probably like, that's crazy. But if you're going to stay true to your research, you have to document everything. And they just add up time after time and outing after outing, and more you go out there and experience, the better picture you're going to be able to draw and better conclusions. As you can see, it takes a lot of time, but what I've noticed is they kind of skirt the trails. When they come up out of here, out of the deep areas, they parallel the trails to watch, what's going on. And this right here where this huge male was, this is where we had that big sighting that I referred to, where he hit his head on a branch. We were kind of down in here metal detecting, and he walked across right there. He was gigantic. We ended up measuring that branch at 9'8". So it was something interesting. But when you look at the map, could he have followed this little ridge here with these pines and come right out? Is it a constant crossing? 2 years in a row we were finding prints right in here, like a juvenile and a big male, 16 and 19 inch track, which is consistent. 19 inches is what the big male had left prior. And obviously this is the one we had just captured not too long ago and we shared. A friend had found this, and to me this is a very good piece of evidence. As it gets up, it goes over the log, and you can see in the next one where it's almost definitive, where there's legs in the chimp walk style, which is crazy. And this was the original video shot of it right here. And here's the last clip of where it goes up and over and gone over that log right there. So, keep your eyes open in the woods. That's what I tell people. Don't get overwhelmed, and I'm going to employ some techniques this year where I just walk and then I stop and I look everywhere, and I walk and I stop and I look everywhere. I mean, every 30 feet, because I feel we'll definitely have some more sightings doing it that way. So remember, guys, everything in the woods is not Bigfoot all the time. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep researching, keep having fun, get to the bottom of it. So like, sub, share. As always, guys, we appreciate it. Thank you for your time.